Alright, welcome everybody to another Living Freestyle Game Dev live stream. My name is Kevin. We do this twice a week. We work this like an AMA Q&A. Come and go as you please, ask questions. We're kind of working with game dev. Hop in, ask questions about Unreal Engine, any of the stuff that plugs into it. If I know it, hopefully I can help. Otherwise, I'm happy to try to stumble through it together. I work professionally in game dev. I get to do this every day, although sometimes if you watch this stream, that may not be evident. But I'm lucky enough to get to do this every day. The thing is, there's a lot of cool stuff I don't get to do at work. And so this is a chance for me to learn a lot of stuff that I don't always get to work with. In the absence of questions, which happens quite frequently, I basically just spend the time streaming me working towards a working prototype of a game that I'm personally building on the side. We had a bunch of issues with Twitch streams last time, so if you're in Twitch and you're seeing hangs or anything like that, I'll paste in I believe it's the YouTube link, hopefully to my stream. And with that, I went back, I took a look through. I didn't see any kind of questions or anything like that in any of the streams. I did see one from Flippy about where to start with Unreal. I think I need to go back and add some comments to some of the streams to kind of maybe help give people some guidance into what each of those streams are covering other than just stumbling. With that, we are going to be hopping back in. Hopefully things run smoothly tonight. I just finished upgrading a bunch of stuff and sure enough, hopefully we will remember to switch over to our screen. Okay, so where are we? Where we left off was we had been doing a bunch of performance testing because we were trying to figure out why we couldn't have more than 5 enemies on the screen without taking a pretty mad performance hit. Found out a bunch of stuff, just basically turned lots of stuff off for right now. And so now we're back to trying to get to a playable first run, and by playable, I'm talking bare bones. Start at one end of a map, go to the other end of the map, and survive type stuff. So, let's see here. There's a couple things that we need to do in order to make this work based on two-ish streams ago. So let's kind of work through a bunch of these things. Right now, when we start our game, we have currently, let's get this set up properly. And we'll put this on the left. We currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spawn points. And when we start, they are all going to spawn at the same time. And we just don't need the characters that, I mean, this is 1,700 units long, this map. It takes about 5 minutes to get all the way there. I'm ballparking how long I want an encounter to last. So if it takes 5 minutes to walk there, plus you add in the fighting, maybe it'll be a 10-minute encounter. That seems like right around the spot I want to be. We'll see. We'll play with those times. But for now, it's a good starting point. We don't need the characters that we're going to fight 5 or 10 minutes from now to be spawning at the beginning. So let's do this. Let's do a couple things. Let's change our spawn points. So this is our spawn reactor, and rather than just on begin play, let's do it when a player gets within a certain radius instead. So let's just make that change. So first off, rather than begin play, what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom event. Add event. Custom event, and we're going to be calling this event trigger spawns. Start spawns. Let's call it start spawns. Start spawn. Okay, and I only want to do this once. Do once with no resets. Now, while I'm doing this, let me take a second here. I've mentioned in the past building something like an encounter manager. This might be a way to shortcut that, or at least temporarily make it seem like it's all working. Because what I mean is, we could strategically place these spawn points that spawn enemies within when the player gets within a radius and have the map just manage itself. But we'll see. I still think we're gonna need a encounter manager at some point for various reasons, but let's just give this a shot. Okay, so we're gonna do this once. We're gonna start spawn. Now, on begin play, what we wanna do is let's set a timer by event. Set timer by event. And let's say every 1,000, 1,000, maybe 5 seconds. We'll do this looping. And this is going to be, I'm going to promote that to a variable. And we're going to call this variable what are we calling this? Start spawn timer or player sense event timer. Sure, that's very descriptive. Okay, and we're gonna set to looping, so every 5 seconds. And what we want to do is when we get this thing every 5 seconds, we're going to add another custom event, and this is going to be check for event check for players. And then let's get actors radius. Nope. Sphere overlap. I could do a sphere overlap actors. Sphere overlap actors. And the sphere location is going to be self. I'm going to do this based on where the spawn point is. Get actor location. Totally making this up. I think it might work, but we'll find out. Sphere radius. So we know the whole map is, let's see, the whole map is 1,700 units long. And if we take a look, what is our distance between spawn points? So here's our first spawn point. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so let's say 50, oh, we could test this pretty easy. So let's just say this is 50 units to here and 50 units back that way. Where's spawn point 2? Long ways back. Let's try 50. So let's try, so it's, I think each of those squares is 10. So 500, that seems small. I'm going with 5,000. That seems big. Let's try 500. And then we're looking for control. Can we get controllers? Can we get like player controllers here? Lyra player controller. Ooh, we can. Okay. Let's make an array here. And do we need to do this? Let's see if we need to do this. True if there was an overlap, false otherwise. So if we get a true, by the way, the hotkey I used there was I held B and left click. If we get a true, then what we want to do is we want to start spawn. And we also want to stop this timer. So let's clear and invalidate the timer. Clear and invalidate timer. So this should stop the timer. So we have double we have double redundancy in here. One is we have our do once, and then the second one is we have this clear timer so that this looping will stop. Now we do need to make sure that we connect in our event, and that should do it. Let's see what happens here. So nothing should spawn when we start, unless my radius is so crazy. All right, so let's go play. All right, so if we eject, we have no enemies. Looks pretty good. We go back into our character, we move forward. Still nothing. 500 maybe. Maybe it is 500, 5,000 I need. Still nothing. Where's our first spawn point? Oh, come on. We're not within 500 of that? Yeah. Each of these squares must be worth more than 5 then. So I'm not buying this. Check for players. Alright, I'm not buying this. Let's do a couple things here. Let's draw a debug sphere. Draw a debug sphere. And we're going to do it at our position. And let's make this readable. Just for kicks, let's double check that this stuff is coming through on our channel. We had so much fun with the stream last time. Looks good. All right. So we're gonna draw a sphere of radius 500 and not 50, 500. We'll do a duration of 1, thickness of 1. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, yeah, that sphere's not big enough. Why are there 2 of them? Okay, so clearly 500 is not right. 5,000? 5,000? Why in the world would there be 2? Okay, yes, that's 5,000. That's what I was expecting. Okay, so now we've come inside. We are now inside the sphere. For sure. But we are not triggering, so either we're not finding Lyra player controllers or pawns don't match. So can I even compile this without that connected? No. I need this connected. And rather than this, let's get shooters. So we're gonna check for shooter hero mannequins. However, because the enemies could also be hero shooter mannequins, we need to check to see if they're controlled. Get controller. Huh? Oh, that's why. We gotta go for each. Alright, for each of these, we're going to get controller. Get player controller from object. Does this work? Can we do this? Is valid? if this is true, I want a variable, just because I just b player found. It's gonna be our boolean. I'm gonna set player found to true. And then when we're done with this loop, and we can actually speed this up too. When we're done with this loop, if, let's see here, we're gonna get this. And if that's true, then we're gonna start our spawning. Roger. And let's see what we got. Okay, I'm now inside the radius. And they're spawning. Alright, we got it. Okay, now a couple things to check now that they're spawned. I want to make sure that we are not coming back in here again. So let's put some breakpoints now and make sure we are never calling these things again. That's great. And I'm gonna go running back inside that sphere just to double check. Wait, how many? Okay, so those spheres are still checking. Alright, so we got our first 10. That's cool. Alright, so that worked. Apparently there were a lot of enemies in that spawn point. I didn't realize that. But that worked. That's great. Now, I do want to check one thing here, because it kind of bugged me a little bit. Why were there 2 radius spheres here? Let's go back down to 500. I'm wondering if this is running on clients, or also, let's do this. Rather than a for each, let's do 4 with break. I believe this will work. And then we're gonna come in here. I'm gonna loop through this. And when we're complete, we're gonna go here. If this is valid, then we're going to break. That way we're not finishing a loop that we don't need to finish, because if we find a single player, we want to break out of this. Whoa. Hey, come on now. Okay. So, but we're back to 500, so I just want to see. White's tough to see. Let's go hot pink. Okay. And then what we'll do is, I want to watch. Look at that, there's 2 of them. Why are there 2 of them? There's a spawn point here. The next one's way out there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, there is a spawn point there. Spawn point 10 is there. Okay. The game does not lie. We don't need spawn point 10. We'll get rid of it. Save. Am I still playing? I am still playing. Save that. Let's save, compile and save this. Let's go and say, I want to change this to add a variable called player detection radius. I'm going to set that to a float. And we're going to set the default on that to be 5,000. Maybe for some reason we want to be able to change this. So we'll just do that here. We've got multiple redundancy in our checks, and that should work. Should be good. Well, let's clean up this blueprint just a little bit. Nope, undo. Oops. Man, we are having some problems with the mouse controls tonight. Okay, that looks good. So let's save all. Compile, save. All right, tonight is looking good. We've accomplished something. All right, so we got rid of our spheres, we got rid of all that stuff. Holy goodness. Oh, that's our front end from our last time. We don't have any prints. That's great. So now if we run forward, we may not even see them spawning. Oh, we may want to reduce the checking time. Yeah, let's try that. Let's reduce the check time. Right now we are player, maybe we should add, let's duplicate this. Player detection frequency. Let's go here, compile. Let's try 2. Oh, I have no grenades. Okay. That's okay. Do a stat FPS on this. We're running 30. It's alright. We're running. Where's our next one? Also, what is that jitter coming from? Are we getting shot in the back? Hold on a second, where's our second spawn point? It's right here. Why did that not spawn enemies? Where's our third spawn point? It's right there. There's some blueprint errors that are happening there. Something's going on. So, interestingly enough, our second and third spawn points. Oh, they have 0 spawn counts. Okay, so let's try this. Maybe that's the problem. Let's go 5 on this. Now that should do it. -1 array positions from length 60. We'll have to check that. Get ring positions. Alright, so these guys are going to spawn. We're going to be fighting our way through. And then as we get up here, jump fall is missing a distance curve. There they go. Second wave. Hold up a second. Only 1 spawned. Alright. Only 1 spawned. Why? Interesting. This is spawn point 2. Oh, come on, man. Thought we we fix this? Spawn point 2, spawn point 9, 5. Hold on. That now says 5. Am I going crazy? I might be going crazy. Spawn point 1 is 5. Spawn point 2 is 5. Man, that's brutal. Everybody got shotguns on that round. This is gonna be too far between encounters, I think. Dude, that was only one. And here's a wild thing. If I pick spawn point 2, look, it's just spawn count is 0. How is that possible? Spawn point 3 shows the spawn count is 5 though, so let's go. Something funky's going on. Spawn point 3. Look at that. Somehow, spawning is changing the number of enemies that are spawned? How in that? Find references. Interesting. Why is it? What is this doing? Spawn count is greater than 0. Oh, that's why. Well, this is interesting the way this was built. Wonder who did that. No idea. Okay, so let's see. What happens is we come in here. If spawn count is greater than 0, which it is, it's 5. Then we subtract 1 from the spawn count. Clear to spawn. Search count is 0. Clear to spawn, right? Search count plus plus. Get actor location. This is use spawn locations. Keep searching. Keep searching. What the world? Alright, we're gonna debug this. Let's go. Now that we know what's happening. Alright, so we just triggered our first spawn point. So let's add a breakpoint on this point right here. Alright, and that is only going to get re-triggered when we run up to our next spawn point. Wait a minute. How come that didn't hit that spawn point? That trigger? Oh, look at that. Okay, fine, we'll go to spawn point 3. We can do that. It was set to debug spawn point 3. We'll get there soon enough. Okay, there we go. So we come in here, our spawn count should be 5. It is. It's greater than 0. We're gonna reduce it by 1. Cleared spawn is false. Search count is 0. Cleared spawn is false, which is true. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna do this while this is not true. Okay, cool. Search count is 0. Keep searching is true, false. We're getting a random location and navigable radius around ourselves. And that radius is 300. And then we're going to set that spawn location. Used spawn locations. None. Okay. Keep searching is false. So clear to spawn is true. So we're going to spawn our first character here. So let's... I believe we're going to hit this point right here. And then the second time through. Okay, so here's our spawning the bot, the first one. And then here comes our second one. Alright, by the way I'm doing this is I'm just using hotkeys. I'm pressing F10 to go to next. It's the same thing as clicking this one. You can see. So F10 is step to the next, F11 is step into, and so on. We could probably do a debugging session. Alright, so right now our spawn count should be 4, which it is. We're going to reduce it by 1. We're going to clear. We're going to search our count. Clear to spawn should be false, which is nodded, which is true. So we're going to do our search count, which is 0. Keep searching is false. We're going to get the actor location. Our radius is still 300. And we're going to get a random location, slightly off the ground. Spawn locations. Alrighty. And then for each one, we're going to check the distance from the used spawn locations to this spawn location. If it's less than 100, we're going to go keep searching. So we keep searching. Okay, what? Hold on. We said keep searching. Hold on a second. What just happened? Oh, this should be the while loop. We should come back to this while loop. But wait, why are we clear to spawn? Huh? Something's broken, we shouldn't be here. Completed, keep searching. Oh, keep searching is true. Okay, cool. So we should get back to our while loop here. What? How? No way, I'm not buying this. Okay, so let's try this again. So now we're coming through the third time. Our spawn count is 3. Okay, we'll come through here. This is our while loop. Clear to spawn is false. Okay. Keep searching. We're gonna set to false. We should have 2 spots in here now. Okay. And when we come in here, for each one, we're going to check to see if the distance is less than 100. If it is, we're going to keep searching. If keep searching is true, we should do nothing. And that should bring us back to our while loop. Alright, let's test this. So here's our for loop. We have to keep searching. So keep searching is true. We're setting it to true. I don't understand why we keep hitting this breakpoint. Is it because we're in the while loop? Interesting. Keep searching is false. Yeah, that's fine. We want to do that. What's our search count? 13 times. We've tried 13 times. Oh, that's interesting. Did we reset our search count? We did. So we've come through here 13 times. 14 times. But keep searching. Hold on a second here. We get the location. There's only 2 spawn locations. They're not even close to each other. Look at how far off these are from each other. Okay, let's draw some spheres, people. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're going to take this, we're going to draw a debug sphere here. And that, ooh, actually let's just do it here so we know we're comparing the right thing. Alright, and do a radius of 40, 40, and we're going to check, make that hot pink. We'll do a duration of 10 and a thickness of 1. These are going to be random locations that we're checking. And then for these are going to be our used spawn locations. So draw a debug sphere. And let's make these blue. The used ones are blue. And they're going to be 50 in radius. And we're going to go 10 as well. And 1. So what we should see, it doesn't make any sense that the first one works and the second one does not. But okay, let's give it a shot. Those are all the points that it tried. Do we still have spawn 10 in here? But yeah, dude, we deleted that. How did that come back? Oh, it's chugging. It is hitting that wild loop hard. Something is happening with this. I can't even move. Because the GPU is hitting its limit. Look at that error in the top left. Whew. Okay, so either there's something wrong with this spawn point, and also, where did spawn point 10, how did this come back? Save. And let's change our trigger radius for this one to be we need to make these instance editable and expose on spawn. Instance editable and expose on spawn. Compile and save. Here we go. Oh wait, the whole point was to change this. So this is gonna be, let's say 500, because I want to see them happening. Okay. seems reasonable over there. Shoot. I ran past it. I can't. It's like all of them are spawning right there. This is gonna crash my session if I don't stop it though. This loop is dangerous, man. This thing can totally kill you. Okay. Let's take a look at this spawn point. Spawn point 2. Player detection radius. Editable clipboard. I don't understand this. This radius is gonna be search count. Starts at 200. It just gets wider and wider. This is the actor location. Get random location in navigable radius. Alright, let's test something. If we delete our first spawn point and we run really, really fast, can we get there? Alright, I believe it's up here. Okay, it's right there. Almost there. Look at that, they're all spawning right there. They're all, it's like get random is not working. It works for the first one, but not the second one? Okay, a couple changes here. Let's do a couple things here. First off, this search count just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I feel like we may want to have a limit to that. Also, we can get rid of our breakpoints. Here's what I want to look at. Our second spawn point, which is here. Oh, dude, it's not in the we found it. Okay. It's not in the nav radius because, oh goodness, because our navigation is not set. Rather than 1700, let's try 900. Okay, that's gonna fix that problem. I can feel it. Let's duplicate this, rename it to 1. And then let's move this back. move this back. Go here. And let's make the radius 5,000 again. Same thing for spawn point 2. We can get rid of all of our debug drawing. First, let's save all. Because I have total faith that we found the problem, we'll kill this. Let's get rid of these breakpoints. Okay, it's all gonna work. First wave of enemies. Brilliant. We're gonna have to fix the sword. The sword cannot hit enemies that are squatted down, which would be really very cool. There's our second wave of enemies. Totally working. What did this do good? Okay. Alright, so that is working, which is great. Now, the next thing that we want to fix is we have a problem, which is when they spawn, they could potentially pick a leader anywhere on the map. And we want them to pick a leader that is relatively close. So what happens is in our squad formation task, if they don't have a squad leader and they're not a squad leader, then they're gonna find a squad leader. So what we want to do is when they're finding squad leaders, when we get all actors of class, we want to make sure that they're within a certain distance. So here's the question. We could get all actors in radius. Or I mean, we could do a radius sphere overlap actors. Or we could get all actors of class. I don't know which is faster. Let's see. Let's see if there's any information on the internet on this one. All right, so I'm just searching sphere overlap actors versus all actors of class. If you expect huge amount of actors, it would probably be best to create an array and add remove on the beginning. The sphere only gets the actors in its radius. The all will get, yeah. That's interesting. From my experience, all actors of class is faster. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out I don't see anything that talks about the speed difference. And the docs don't really say anything about how fast it is. Four comments on this thread. Let's see here. So a sphere overlap on a moving actor is not great. For performance, it has to empty the collision. Yeah, but we're not doing this every tick, we're just doing this at spawn. Okay, I think what we want to do here is rather than get actors of class, we're going to loop through. If it's not ourselves, we're going to compare teams. We're going to do a bunch of stuff. If it is valid, we're going to get the blackboard, which is, if that's valid, then we're going to check to see if they're a squad lead. If they are, then we'll do our thing. Okay, so I think we can work with this. So what we're going to do here is replace this with sphere overlap actors. Now, I think what we have to do is we have to get our shooters just like we were doing before. If we got some, then we'll do our for loop just like before. And then let's see here. What is the thing? This completes and we have not found a lead. Okay, that's fine. We can just do that. All right, cool. So we're gonna do the branch. If that's true, we're gonna get the controller. Get the controller. We're gonna cast that to an HWC AI controller. If that is successful, we're going to go about our merry way. We're going to change that and we'll go this way. The radius is going to be controlled on get location, get the actor location, and let's try a radius of 5,000. That all looks good. Now, how in the heck are we going to check that this works? Well, one thing is, let's just see if we've broken the encounter. I think that's a good way to start. Oh, object types. We need this to be a pawn. Oops. Alright, here we go. So as we run up on this, what I want to see okay, 5 characters. Wait, how many leads do you see there? 1 lead. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's run up on the next guys. They are definitely the same color, which is different than the other characters. Where are they going? Oh, they were taking cover from when they first saw me. Okay, that's another bug we have to see. Okay, let's write that down in our sticky notes. Alright, so there's a bug. When we first spawn, we run running past the player. Okay, so now we have 2 squads. Alright, let's go check a 3rd squad. I think we're good. I think we successfully got that going. Where's our next? Boy, way too long between waves. I'll take. Ooh. And these characters are much brighter than our last set of characters. Yeah, so we have 3 distinct squads. From what I can tell, this is working. Okay, cool. 2 successes tonight so far. That's great. We have 4 minutes to spare in our official time. I'm fine with that. Okay, so we fixed a bunch of things. I think the next thing that we need to fix is, or the next thing we need to try to do is set up objectives. What I mean by that is, let's just say that we change our spawn radiuses to 10,000. This group here, when they spawn, they might spawn search and destroy, they could spawn defenders, or they could spawn sentries. But nobody has when they spawn sentries, they don't have something to guard. So let's drop in an objective. And let's see if we can do something here. Let's put this spawn point behind this wall, kind of in the middle. And then let's create let's drop in a health pack. Pickup. I think it was called a pickup. Test pickup. Yes. We drop this in here. And we'll move it back up against this wall. And the thing that we're going to pick up is not a pistol. Where's this set? ID heal pickup. So we have a heal pickup now. We're gonna turn off the collision on it. And what is the tag that we need? Inside of our enemy blueprint for patrol, we have a search for objective, which is an EQS query. And what it does is it gets all objectives around the querier. So let's see here. Get all objectives. And this is looking for actors with a tag of objective. So if we come back to this and we tag this thing as an objective, anybody who spawns as a defender should take up positions around this. So let's force a few things. Let's make all of our enemies defend, so we can test this. Okay, let's save all. This is gonna be our last test for the evening, I think. And I think what we're going to do, get within a radius. I'm surprised I'm not within the radius. responding now. Duck. Alright. They took up positions around this thing. And they're just gonna stand there now. I can't remember what the difference is between a sentry and a defender. I need to go back and look at that. So let's test something. Let's make these all sentries. I mean, that worked. It was great. Strategize. Oh, I see. This isn't what we want to do. Sentry. So now there'll all be sentries. And they are taking up positions. Now, interesting. Obviously they've decided to form a flying V, I guess. I mean, that's what it looks like. We need to see what sentries are supposed to do. Find the objective. Okay. When they find the objective, what does this do? This sets the objective actor. Interesting, that's the form up task. If the objective actor is set, waits 2 seconds, sets a random focus. Interesting. This is all squad lead stuff. Alrighty. Find a random patrol location. It's gotta be in here. Look around. Objective actor. Okay, here we go. So our objective actor is true. And we're not search and destroy. If we're a sentry, we're gonna get ring positions. If we're not a sentry, and interesting. But you won't see it. The problem is you won't see it because, oh, that's interesting. So sentry should make rings around it, and everything else is going to be, if it's not a sentry, then it's going to get a random reachable location. Move to location from the objective actor if that's less than the search radius. If that's true, then that's good. If it's false, we're gonna get a random move to location within the search radius and do that. Okay, that makes sense. So basically, defenders line up all around it, and sentries take up ring positions around it. They actually form up in ring positions around it. It's a weird distinction, but I guess it works. Now here's the trick though. I don't think we want to form up if we're patrolling and we're a sentry. Or a defender for that matter. I guess we don't need to form up at all. Let's try this. I think if we disconnect this, It's gonna find a random patrol location if it's a squad lead. Oh, interesting. Hold on, it's not that easy. So if we're a squad lead, we're gonna find a random location. Okay, so let's add in one more. Let's duplicate this. And what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of form up for a second. And what we're going to do is, if squad lead is not set, and objective actor is set, we're going to find a random location. Okay, so now I think when they're moving to the objective, they'll form up. But once they get there, they'll make their rings. Let's test this. Nope. That does not seem to be the case. Waiting for 7 seconds, huh? Are we hitting this? Let's try 1. Interesting. So we're not going to come back in here because this should find a random patrol location. Does it do this? Okay. We're not searching and destroy. We should be a sentry, so we get ring positions. What? Hold on. We get ring positions. Clears the positions. Finds the objective actor. If it's a sentry. We add those spots. We check the ring claims. We're looking at, I don't know what this is all about. Attack ring claims. Oh man, positions. Alright, let's bring back some debug spheres that we used to have. Okay, let's get rid of this breakpoint for a second. Interesting, look at this. So they're picking their spots properly. Like they're hitting, you can see because I'm drawing lines from where they're supposed to go. So each of these is supposed to go here. However, they're staying in their formation instead. Which is weird because it's almost like they're still calling form up. They are calling form up. Look at this. They're calling form up here. Okay. The only person... I don't think we need this. Oh, I see what's happening. So we're doing this. Okay, so we're getting a random location. For success, we're doing a move too. We form up while we move. I think we're just gonna skip that. Let's just skip that. This is it. I know I can feel it's gonna work. Or not at all. That's where they're supposed to be going to. But they're not moving. Hold up a second. Did we take out our move? We did. I think we just do a move too. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's copy this. Let's do this. We want to move too. Weird that they didn't move at all. Okay, they formed up around it. Pretty cool. Okay, so that clearly works. And just to prove the point, or check our own insanity, if we come back to get ring positions, we can disconnect these now. If we come back to strategize and we change these back to defend, rather than in a perfect circle, they should be randomly aligned around the objective. Yeah, they're just kind of randomly circled around it. I'm not sure I totally understand why I made that distinction, but okay. I guess we have options now. All right, so with that, I feel like we had another reasonably successful night. So let's just go ahead and wrap this up. Interestingly enough, it looks like my camera's dead. Okay, all the more reason to wrap this up. Not sure what happened. All right, y'all. I'm not sure what's going on with my camera. We'll go back to our screen. Anybody who is kind of hanging out in the wings, thanks for hopping in. Always good to see you. Anybody who didn't get a chance to make it, wanted to ask some questions, feel free as always to throw those down in the comments or hop in the next live stream. Our next live stream is going to be Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock Pacific time. I will throw any updates as to changes and times like that. Usually I'll try to put them on Twitter or change the schedule's class time. So keep an eye out for those. But right now everything looks clear for Wednesday. So I'll see you on Wednesday, and we're just going to keep working towards our playable encounter. So I hope you all have a great week, great start to your weeks, and I will catch you all soon. Later.